It looked like they had the potential to come in, and they're going all in.
Squad.
Oh, yeah. And they're gooning it out. Oh, but they paid for it at the same time. The floor is unstoppable right now, despite losing Bianca and Jonak. You have the upcoming floor absolutely popping off.
Or barely gets the primal on time. Gets the assassination onto Alar. Now follows up with a Tony, follows up with a Carve. Gesture going huge, finds 3 kills, forces the recall.
You currently have Friday and IDK on the Lucio, so that way the fast rotations could go in. Very much coming forward, but the immortality field and Gushwei taking so much of that damage. He gets cleaned up first, and that's going to follow up by the rest of Spark. They may want to go for a reset here because the NY Excelsior already off to a strong foot.
Rotate around the side. Banana Boost does come through. Coffee already going to be done now. Doesn't have to be worried about the flashbang interruption. The immortality field cleared out as well. And Profit will manage to find 3 back in the front. Make it a 4.
And we are back on the Overwatch League. Doa and ZP here with you. And I'm psyched, ZP, because we got a great match out of us. It's going to be the Seoul Dynasty versus the New York Excelsior. Both teams that have struggled a little bit, but I think there's a lot to be excited about on both of these squads as well. What stands out to you when you think about this incoming match?
Well, honestly, I look forward to Seoul's attacks because Seoul is incredibly decisive. Gesture gets backed up. It's a full team effort. And I need a palate cleanser after the last match, so I want to see Seoul on offense, man. Please, just wash the last match completely out of my system. That's what I need.
Yeah, that's right. And don't forget, you've got a chance to submit some amazing artwork that you yourself have created. Overwatchleague.com/art-gallery. I think we want to see your best May art right now, actually. It is a May Melee after all, ZP. So throw us your best May art, and you've got a chance to have your art, I believe, displayed, if I remember that correctly.
You know what, though? I'm going to enter. You've seen my art up close and personal in some party games recently. I'm going to bring my best stick figure to the competition. I got it.
That's right. Your best drawful game. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's start talking about our next series here. Like we mentioned, it is going to be the Seoul Dynasty taking on the New York Excelsior. And, you know, again, you look at these rosters, and the thing with Seoul that's very strong as we check this out is it's going to be the Profit and Gesture show to the most part. But look at this. Starting roster, ZP, does not include Gesture. They're bringing in Marvel. What does that say to you? I'm a little bit surprised.
I mean, it says potentially many things, but more than anything else, I think it's that Seoul has always, as a team, had a history of doing a lot of swaps, sometimes with reason, sometimes without. Marvel's still on the roster, and they clearly have an intent here. I mean, maybe it means you're going to see Marvel come in on the ball. Who knows? I mean, it's Seoul, and Seoul's coaching staff has always been, you know, very creative, but sometimes to their own detriment.
Yeah, we got to talk about Animo as well. He's going to be playing against his former squad today. Used to be the main support for NYXL back in the day. So it's going to be, and I mean, obviously the rosters have changed a bit, but Jonak's still over there, and Animo's, you know, going to be hard-pressed to not accidentally try to damage boost him if he's close by.
Yeah, well, you get too close with Jonak, just go, by the way, you're on the other team. Let me help you to the spawn. But yeah, it is a little bit weird because you think about the long shared history between the two of them, and you're right, once teammates, now rivals, and I think it's going to be interesting to watch New York here because New York, while they didn't look great in their initial outing, this is a team that a lot of people think has quite a lot of potential. I certainly think that. And Seoul, you know, on paper, this is a match that I'd say Seoul should win. But it's also the regular season, and Seoul isn't always the most consistent team in the regular season. Obviously, new season, we'll see how it pans out, but I mean, this is a match that really could go either way, but I think regardless of which way it goes, it should be much cleaner Overwatch than the match we just saw.
I would hope so. I don't want you to jinx anything, ZP, so I'm just going to say I like watching a lot of these players play. Hopefully we'll get some good games. You know, one advantage that NYXL is coming into this one with is that they've got a player named Friday. It is Friday. You've got this sort of like cosmic synergy, I think, going on there. Not that I'm an expert on those types of things, but I'm just going to make an assumption. It's going to help them out a little bit.
I already like this a lot from New York, where, again, they had that experience with Chengdu, where Chengdu beat them running Mercy pretty much the entire time. New York wasn't running it. New York was at times running things like Moira, Lucio, and New York they've evolved. And as I think Friday's going to stay in the Mercy. And I think it's good because Ivy's going to get far more support than, you know, again, compositions of run where it's like, you're an Echo, go freelance. So
yeah, we're going to have Pharah 1.0 versus Pharah 2.0 in the sky there a little bit. with a Prophet on the Pharah for Seoul Dynasty. Both Mercies, though, damage boosting their airborne compatriots there. And we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, this is... the duel in the skies is going to decide a lot. Obviously, the ground battle can sort of deal fights. As we say that, Marvel booped off. He was going for the pile driver, and Bianca, I think, just gave him the little tap right off the edge. Flora, though, taken out by Crib, went in for that. And Bianca continuing the assault. Good showing for the New York tank line to start things out.
Yeah, not bad. All right, well, Creative does get the res from Animo. So Seoul still in this one for the moment, but Marvel is going to be able to get back to the point in a hurry. Certainly will. And it was Seoul Dynasty that claimed the point during all of that madness as well. And looks like they're going to be able to hold it for the moment. Prophet did end up dying there. Yeah, Red's come through. Oh, nice block from Bianca to make that happen.
Now, Bianca's been doing super well for New York so far. The problem is for New York, they have to bring it over to the point. Jonak entering the action here from afar. You can't give Jonak this much space.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Calm down, Noah. It's okay. All right.
I like Jonak a lot.
Yeah, I noticed.
He is my favorite player of all time in Overwatch. I'll just say it. He's a bloodthirsty of all supports. He's the best Zenyatta to ever pick up the hero and play it. And you saw why right there. I mean, he knows how to position perfectly. He can hit those shots. He's got deadly right clicks. He's the man on Zenyatta, no doubt.
He's not only the man, but also the one with the Transcendence in the next fight. Flora going for the pulse bomb, trying to end it early. Does not connect quite as well. Valkyrie can be out here early for Friday. Both teams right now posturing as Valkyrie's in process. Ivy clipped out of the sky by Vince.
Yeah.
Trying to bring back Jonax out of the fight. So they res up Ivy, but they're not getting the Transcendence within this here in New York. Kind of struggling to bring this back. They're hoping that Flora Ivy can land something, but time is running out. Bianca self-destructs into the white room and
Creative
dies before rebacking. Oof.
I mean, great shot by Creative to take out Bianca before he had a chance to really contest this. Soul trying to retake the point, but Ivy managed to swap over to the Diva for the moment with the Echo ultimate. And they're going to continue to hold this. Ooh, maybe. I feel like they've got enough people now. There's the self-destruct, so that's going to buy them a bit more time.
Jonak finally using Transcendence. Friday, though, no Transcendence going to help versus the Pulse Bomb. Prophet lands the stick. Soul back in on the fight, but honestly, not the worst exchange for New York. They still get a lot of progress, and even as Seoul starts cleaning up a bit here, they still have to be measured. Ivy took down Creative. This is one of the things where New York will kind of linger, Noah.
Well, this has been an insane melee from start to finish in this round. The points gone back and forth a couple times already, and it just feels like both teams have just been hyper-aggressive finding picks. What a different style to our last game where both teams just kind of going all gas, no brakes at the beginning of this one.
That's a new channel now, as it turns out. Good old Channel 5.
Not
See
the
underbelly, but
speaking.
Yeah, well, it's picked up on anyways as Jonak got the early pickup from the Prophet. Soul lost that early, and now New York just gets to casually roll up to the point. And Jonak's looking more alive right now, though, than I feel like he has all season long so far. That's a good omen for New York.
I mean, both of these teams came to play today, no doubt about that. Flora finds one on Fitz to start things off for NYXL. You and I were talking about how important Flora is going to be. Wow, they nearly lost Yakpunk. They got the healing with the Transcendence. Ooh, Jonak may want that one for the next fight here. They've lost Friday, so it's going to be a bit awkward.
Prophet threw himself in, body and soul into that one. Flora, though, finds Fitz on the outskirts.
Yeah,
Soul getting real close to the tank. New York having to go in for looking for the stick, whiffing on that, or at least feeding it to Toyo at the very end.
I mean,
New York.
Yeah, Toyo managed to absorb that one. Close call, though, but Soul does retake. And I got to shout out Creative here. As far as aggressive Zenyatas go, Creative been hitting the headshots all night. There's another one as he takes out Flora. Maybe, the thing is like, if we got a challenger to the crown, at least in this round anyway, Jonak's got to keep up with Creative now.
I would have loved if Jonak had just picked someone off there as you said that. It would have been perfect time. It wasn't the case with Yakpunk. Able to take down Prophet, and suddenly New York with a really good opportunity. They can roll in. They're going to have 6. Soul bring the Valkyrie early. Soul has a big support advantage, so they can start with the Valkyrie, wait for respawns, move in with the Transcendence. Duplicate, though, used. It's used on a McCree, not the most common duplicate target, but hey, it puts Ivy on McCree, and thus far not working out super well. Ivy pretty low, self-destruct coming in. Duplicate over as the self-destruct catches Friday, and Soul have found a way through.
I mean, that kind of says it all right at the end, like Creative taking down Jonak as well as everybody else on New York falling for the most part. Seoul trying to just live out through this last bit of overtime, and they will do just that and claim the first point here on Lijiang Tower. And that was a great round, ZP. That was just a lot of great individual play, great ult usage. Wow, I like the series already.
Yeah, I mean, that was entertaining. We saw some good swaps between the teams. We saw, heavier impact from Zenyatta's than at times we've seen over the last few games. Now, of course, I'm sorry to tell you, Doa, but the Zens are being swapped out. It's close quarters combat here at Control Center, and that means Immortality Field is being summoned.
Hey, I mean, Batiste is one of the most entertaining supports to watch, I think, right now, too. He's a hit scan hero. What more do you want, You want to be able to heal, but you also want to be able to shoot.
Well, between both teams going to be running fairly rough-centered compositions, but you got the key point of difference here. One side going for the May McCree, more standard. Prophet can't resist the Jay Silly.
I mean, Jay Silly, is that his new name? I didn't know that. Wow, things have really changed since last time I cast it.
Yeah, if you go into any comp game, that's just, it's his new nickname. It's been there for a while.
Oh. All right, well.
Times change,
I'm a poser, who do you know? Fitz, though, staying on the Syndra. I just want to see, not the Syndra, the Symmetra. Oh my gosh. Get my games crossed again. This is what happens. Freelance life. It's going to be a point cap, though, for Seoul Dynasty as they get things started early. And I'm liking the Marvel choice for this map more and more. Marvel has always been a better Reinhardt than Gesture, in my opinion. And so bring him to this point where he can play the Reinhardt, where he can play more of these sort of point defense styles, I think really suits him well. And it suits so well to use him in this way.
I do like the Diva swap in here from New York, where Bianca will at least be able to eat a good amount of the Junkrat bombs heading on in. But the Junkrat's still posing some issues for New York as they try and get through in one piece. But now, Marvel getting low. They see a weakness there, but the Immortality Field comes in. Once Marvel back up, the Shatter now built. Marvel immediately drops it down. Flora put to ground. Immortality Field, though, out for Jonak. He punishes Prophet on the other end. And suddenly, New York still in a really good spot in this fight. All healing up. Symmetra shield throw down. But now Yakman moving forward. Earth Shatter up for him. He drops it and hits nothing. No one hit by that Shatter. And Flora gets punched by Fitz as now 5v5. But Seoul starting to rally, and the Flux might put it away.
All right, Toyo manages to take out Yakpung. That's a good start there. They've got Marvel still on the point for the moment. Now with the beat on both sides. Ooh, can they do it? Ivy, though, got to come out of that ice block at some point. They've got the Immortality Field, too, but Marvel low health. Yeah, he's going to go down. What a back-and-forth fight this has been. Jonak drops a wall. That's a bold move before already with the pick on Animo. And it looks like they've got it, ZP. They're going to be able to flip this one back.
Yeah, I mean, Seoul almost had that there for a moment, but the problem is they didn't take down Jonak, who I think during the course of that fight got 2-3 pickoffs, heavy contribution. I mean, swapping between I heal my team to I'm also DPS for my team. So, again, Jonak looking very good in the middle of that team fight.
I mean, what do you expect, right? I mean, we know how accurate he is on the Zenyatta. Now he doesn't need to wait for his projectiles to get there. He can just play a hit scan hero, right? So he's going to be in good shape. That was great wall placement, good timing for it. I don't know if Seoul's maybe expecting to come that late in the fight. And they got the point. Now they got to hold it. Goodbye, Fitz. Good start for NYXL and the defense here.
Yeah, I mean, NYXL picked their moment, went in, got the early pick, and the other thing, again, that I got to compliment, I think Bianca's having an incredible game so far from New York. Yeah, they didn't take round one, but right place, right time a lot. And now that they're running the May and they have control, entry here is tough for Seoul. That's why they've gone to the May, just to try and use walls to deal with the wall, as it were.
Well, we talked about the May McCree being the more traditional comp right now. This is more of the meta, and you can see why. You can just control so much space, especially on a point like this. Earth Shatter goes in. They've got the wall up as well to add some more damage on ZP. Can they win the fight, though?
Bianca bomb to the back, creates enough space. It was a really good lamp coming in from Jonak. New York does entirely escape unscathed. Seoul gonna be pushing the issue. Jonak under pressure. Flora, though, says, give me a little bit of room. Deadeye out and over. Not going to get anything, but does, again, give New York key breathing room. And now you got to look towards Ivy. Ivy's going to be looking to move in, set up the Blizzard, if Seoul comes in a little bit more aggressively.
The Reinhardt shield was out. Seoul had to back away. Fitz lifted up by the May wall. Animo down already. It better be a good Deadeye who can't find. Well, he did find Ivy, okay. But not before Ivy tossed out the Blizzard. If they can keep Marvel alive, Seoul can keep pushing this.
And I mean, overall, Seoul went in. They had to drop the Blizzard off to the side. They got zoned out a little bit from the Blizzard on New York. And New York, actually, they're going for the swap. Ivy now going to the Tracer just to get back to the fight a little bit earlier. It's still in contest. Jonak in the back drops window, fours McCree for himself. And Seoul, they have to respect it, even with the window of their own. Marvel gets caught. Jonak out of the fight. A big pickoff for the Dynasty. And now, again,
I mean, just been back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back and forth so much on this point. Still, Fitz does go down. That's a big pick for Friday.
Out of it. Floor gets profits.
Yep. New York, okay. Seoul. I mean, this has just been so back and forth. Like, Seoul comes back again. If they can flip it, they've got a chance to win it. They're already at 73%, but New York does not want to give it up. Now they finally give it over. Seoul's got to hold a couple ultimates on each side, but it's looking a little bit better on that front for Seoul at the moment.
The crazy part is New York actually could have kept fighting there, but they realized, look, we have some progress to give. Go for the full reset. That could have been an even longer fight. Both teams evenly matched. Floor, though, opening with the Deadeye, nearly gets Marvel. Didn't have quite enough time to channel, but Marvel has to roll on out. New York looking for the way back in, and Floor just hunting the ball here. Lands the flashbang, finishes him off. A big pickoff from New York. Gonna take the fight to Seoul once more.
Yep. Oh, nice wall right at the end of that Deadeye to try to help out Fitz a little bit, but in the end, doesn't end up doing a whole lot. That said, Bianca does get D-Mech, the tanks out of the way. Now Marvel, no, it's going to be the McCree on the other side. Yakpung extremely low. Can they take him out? They can. And Seoul Dynasty in the end winning this crucial fight. And with that ZP, I believe they just won this map. Seoul Dynasty can't get back in. Maywall denies it. And rather, NIXL can't get back in. And Seoul Dynasty finds themselves 1-0 in this series.
Very fun first map here, though, between both teams, where it was evenly matched, both teams having very good engages and disengages. But, you know, what's interesting to me is even though New York lost the map, the resurgence of Jonak, where you know, you take a look at the earlier matches that New York has played. I don't think Jonak has played badly, but there's not a lot of moments you could go, oh yeah, Jonak carried that fight. Multiple moments here in Control where Jonak found the right rhythm, got several picks, and looked like sort of the force that he's generally been on New York in the past. So that's incredibly encouraging if you're a New York fan.
I mean, I think it's going to make a close series. Even though that was a 2-0 map, those were two very close points. I got to shout out again, like Creative stepping up, making Jonak-esque plays of his own. I think, you know, as rough as that last series was tonight, ZP, I think we've got a really good one started here. We're going to take a quick break, everyone, but do not go anywhere. Game number 2 between Seoul Dynasty and NYXL coming at you right after this.
Into the iris.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Indeed, we help people get jobs. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
Oh boy, Zachary Peterson, we have such a great series ready for us right now. I've decided that's what ZP means, by the way.
Yeah,
Seoul Dynasty, don't worry about it. Seoul Dynasty one map up on NYXL. I don't know, I just kind of came up with that name. I don't know where ZP is from, but what do you think? Do you like your new name?
Oh, Well, as far as that goes, Wolf has theories. Wolf calls me Zucchini Panini all the time. Avast Stream literally calls
too.
me everything. Like, does a word end in P? Well, throw a Z behind it, and that's what it stands for. So at this point, there's no definition. It just kind of means whatever you want at the time. Hopefully something more complimentary than not,
All right, there you go. Thank you, Zombo Plowshares. That's all I got. Guys, it's seriously going to be a great series, though. I mean, I could talk all day about the level of the flex support play that we just saw in that first map, but it was really everything. I mean, honestly, Seoul Dynasty winning that one by the slimmest of margins. Both teams seems to really have it together. So the question is, what are we going to see in map number 2? We are going to see Seoul, as you can see on our screen, swap out their main tank. They're going Gesture back in for Marvel. But with the way that map went, I don't think you can really argue the choice of bringing Marvel in for Lijiang Tower. That was a solid performance from him.
Yeah, I mean, as we said for Seoul, sometimes it makes swaps that make sense, other times it makes swaps that don't make sense. I think that was one that made sense, and, the analysis within the moment I think was on point, is that Marvel does have a good Rhine, more so than what Gesture is usually known for, and it paid off on Control Center, as scrappy and back and forth as it was. But I think it's worth knowing, Doa, that was a good type of chaos, a good type of scrappy. It's like, hey, that's a good play, that's a better play. It was good play versus good play, not just... what are we looking at here? Why'd that happen? Why'd you do that? Like, there was none of that. It was just like, ooh, followed by, even more signs of excitement as Jonak just takes down an entire team and creative response in kind. It was great.
I agree. As you can see, Seoul Dynasty with the 2-0 on our first map of the day. It's going to be Hanamura coming up next, our assault map. And we will see if New York can tie up the series. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go the distance, ZB. It's going to be a good one as we see the New York Excelsior getting their defense rolling. It will be the Seoul Dynasty on the attack. And now that we're back to a point like Point A Hanamura, I'm glad we get to see this map again because we get to see how a different team approaches that Point A attack. I would imagine we're going to see some pretty aggressive moves here. I don't imagine we're going to see the Road Dog, but I don't know. Do you think there's a chance they'll stick with it? I'd be pretty shocked.
Yeah, I'd be shocked too. It's not late 2020 anymore. We're not watching the Washington Justice just make a miracle run and Gesture going, wait, that's good. I'll run a Roadhog too. A little bit beyond that point. But honestly, like I said, I'm happy for the palate cleanser. Give me a good showing of a Hanamura Point A offense. That's all I want. All I want.
Are you not entertained?
I got Scout.
Here's the Summer Scout. And we'll see if they decide to make any swaps. Profit on the Genji. Okay. Getting spicy already here. Genji's on Point A. Fairly
It's not the most con pick. Hasn't been entirely unprecedented this season. But if anyone can make it work, it's Profit. Fitz, meanwhile, gone for the hack over the top and has just acquired the wrath of Bianca, who doesn't want to go there the entire time. I mean, right now, Fitz actually getting checked pretty well, only 23% build thus far.
I mean, I like the attempt, right, to try to disable the May, make sure there was no walls your team tries to push through. It's a good idea. Paved the way for an easy dive. Meanwhile, Toyo in a little bit of trouble, gets stunned, gets taken out. Got wrapped up by Flora a little bit. Now Gesture walks in. He's going to get aggressive anyway. They do not care, apparently. But I think he's just going to build a little bit of ult charge and get out. Whoa, nice shot from Flora.
Wow, that was big. And I mean, Flora has been one of the key big points for New York this season. Incredible hit scan play. And a big reason why New York has looked good at times. So if all the rest of the team is playing at the same level, if Friday isn't getting picked up first, if Jonak is contributing, makes this New York team scarier, Noah.
Yeah, it really does. Flora, I think, adds a lot, like you said. And we saw why right there. No trouble at all taking out Profit. And Profit still, kind of building that Dragon Blade. It's taken a little while. There we go. They're going to put the Nanomoose on Gesture. Are they going to be able to push in far with this, though?
Well, the window's out, so they really have to respect that. Although, as I said before, it goes down, window. Just go walk forward. Look for a little bit of extra damage. And now, New York is in a rough spot. They have to go to the point. But they have the Blizzard, so they have tools to sort of evict Soul here. Profit has Dragon Blade, but doesn't get a chance to use it. Chased down with the May. Good containment, and this is the problem that they're running into right now, though, is that New York's comp can just run at Seoul. Seoul has to work on picks or ults to win fights.
Yeah, I'm really starting to have my doubts about this Profit Genji. Like, I mean, we've seen him play in the past, of course, but I don't really know what this is bringing for them that a Tracer wouldn't, right? I get the idea. You EMP into Dragon Blade, I'm sure you can maybe reflect an Icicle into Ivy's face or something like that, but or a flashbang sometimes, but it just seems like it's not working out. They're going to need to have a big play with it right here to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, as you correctly identified, it's about the EMP Dragon Blade here. I tend to agree.
Yeah.
I think there's more consistent plans, but they've thrown all the eggs into this basket, and now they have to hope the basket doesn't just get broken. And step one, fits. Lands the early hack onto Bianca. The rest of Seoul going to be setting up in gesture. Okay, he started the party a little bit early. Went over here, dropped the primal, but is also getting pummeled quite a bit. Forced out the early lamp. So now Prophet in a really good spot to move with the Dragon Blade. Yakpong already out of it. And ideally here, though, Seoul might try and save it.
I think Seoul has a good opportunity here. I mean, they forced New York off the point right. They've still got a lot of ultimates to use. And like you said, the more of those they can save, the better. Anamo just boops Ivy right off the map. Yep, they're going to be able to save a lot of this stuff. All right, so they've got EMP Dragon Blade for point B, which is actually huge. And this might have been the plan all along, to try to build this up and save it, or at least build two of them so you can take advantage of that big open space that is point B, where your opponent, if they want to engage you, they can't avoid that EMP as easily. I'm going to be really curious to see if this will work out.
This is a gigantic opportunity for Seoul to just put this one away. Here's the engage already. Prophet with the nano boost, with the blink completely shut down. A great response by New York. They back up, they deal with Prophet, and it's going to be back to the drawing board for Seoul. I would think Prophet would swap, but who knows? Maybe they stay on point B.
It was interesting because they didn't get a chance to use the EMP. They didn't get a chance to use the Graviton Surge from Toyo. So, they've still got some good tools to push. But, Beat on the other side, of course, that can be dealt with the EMP. But, we'll see what they bring. Prophet, I'm a little bit surprised, but he seems really dedicated to the Genji here for this attack.
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising. I mean, it's kind of all in on the Nano Blade to bring you forward, but it does mean that they're looking forward to one good attack, and they kind of drop the EMP here. Opens up, hits four, but Friday was off the side, drops peak, but it didn't hit everyone. It didn't get Ivy, it didn't get Yakpong, and Prophet just feasting on the remains. And
there's
Seoul,
a Graviton Surge. I mean, 4 people with Graviton Surge, but did they get enough out of CP?
Well, Floor's still around. That's the problem. Floor was able to pick off Prophet, and Floor takes out Toyo, and yeah, you got to Floor in there. Floor will take down your entire team.
Wow. There is Flora in your water, and it's keeping NYXL happy and healthy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with it.
Dude, it's 3:30 a.m. This is the best I got. I'm sorry. Flora sounds like fluoride to me at 3:30 a.m.
Yeah, the teeth game for New York Excel, strong Valley, I suppose.
They got a strong teeth game. That's why we love them.
I don't know. I'm just going with what you've given me here. This is the best I got.
I'll take it. All right. Well, they got a couple ultimates as well as their teeth game, right? They got the Blizzard. They've got the Earth Shatter. Now Seoul suddenly struggling a little bit. 1:20 remaining on the clock. Gesture's got to have a big play, I think. They got the Dragon Blade coming too, so fingers crossed if you're a Seoul fan.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Deflection.
There it is.
Prophet still dies, though, in all of it, so that was a very weird exchange. So it wasn't deflection, it was just a shuriken, and the Deadeye was actually well timed. Gesture, meanwhile,
I guess so.
A little bit of bouncy bounce over here, but with
he
the
deflected it with
healing,
his forehead, apparently.
Yeah. Bap is able to withstand a lot of it, and it's not a good push for Seoul. They got to reset, and they only have less than a minute.
Yeah, rally use as well, so kind of everything going into that one. They've got the Dragon Blade, so they're going to have the Nano Blade for the next one. Floor gets one, but yeah, they lost Anamo. This fight is getting a little bit too drawn out, I think, for Seoul.
Yeah, I mean, Seoul just needed to back out a little bit earlier there. That was a self-induced stagger towards the very end, because I don't think New York will chase that far out.
Right.
And you look at Seoul here, well, they're going to have EMP Dragon Blade, so put your faith in Prophet. They'll have the Nano also. So this is literally all about give Prophet everything. Let Prophet win you the game. Will it pan out?
Yeah, I mean, what else do you do? You've got the EMP. You're going to have the Nano Blade. Make it work, right? You've even got the Graviton Surge. You've got all the tools. You've even got a tick on the point. Seoul, it's do or die time for them.
Oh, Prophet's dead! Prophet dies early! Gets picked up by Flora! He was the linchpin, though. Everything depended on Prophet, and he's gone.
I guess they've chosen death. They didn't get to the point either, and that is a hold for New York Excelsior. You can see about 50% progress on the point for Seoul Dynasty. They had the tools, just couldn't use them.
Yeah. Yep, that is very accurate. And I mean, I feel like we built that up adequate. We talked about like the stage is set.
Sure.
Prophet gonna deliver Seoul to the promised land. You know, nothing could be better. And then before it gets started, Flora just goes, no, please get out.
I mean, we've been talking in the first map and second map as well about like how good Flora is looking on NYXL, and I think he's continuing to deliver. This guy's a rising star for sure on this squad, and it shows, right? You know, NYXL, they're a good team. You know, the roster may have changed, but you've still got a lot of good players, a lot of good synergy. They knew exactly what Seoul Dynasty had coming into that fight, and they just handled it beautifully. What can you say? Yeah.
So Fitz
taking
is
a quick
done
trip
his
back
duty.
to spawn. Yep. Already got
one to the high ground, and now gonna be heading back out.
Got the Zen to the high ground. You're in good shape.
Activating the barrier.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So just maybe throw out the right click as the doors open. Profit.
I mean, why not? Throw in a little bit extra damage, but very winnable here for New York, though nothing is ever assured on 2CP. Still one of those variable map types.
Yeah. I mean, Seoul's a good defense. They can still hold on A. We know how tough A is to take here. Oh, I like this. Teleport up to the high ground. Flora leads the way. Good way to get around to the back. Make your opponents react to your new positioning really fast. And they get to the point of the hurry. This is beautiful, CP.
Yeah, I really like it. New York, they're also stronger up close than Seoul is. They just stick together, and they have a really big edge just from getting a point. Point pressure is something that Seoul cannot ignore. As Flora bouncing back and forth off the teleporter, looking to build up. Both teams are pretty healthy. The problem is Seoul must commit onto the point. Oh, that's a lot of damage. The Immortality Field keeping New York alive. The heals coming in, and the counter pressure there. Gesture taken out. So is Flora. 5 on 5. The point continuing to tick up for New York now as Fitz over the top, looking for a bit more. Seoul has to throw everything in here, though, and they're just about out of time.
I mean, yeah, they got to do something about this, but Jonak just backing away at the exact moment he needed to there. Prophet dropped, and it looks like New York should be able to finish off point A. Toyo did try to use the ult, didn't really get anything out of it. Yep, Seoul Dynasty, despite creative fighting a pick in the end, is going to be able to take point A here. They've got it.
Great play from Jonak. Great Immortality Field where, you know, basically the entirety of New York just got slammed from the Echo play. Was able to heal everyone back up, and it was enough to keep point presence in what could have been a team-wiping play for Prophet.
Yeah, and again, Flora playing beautifully from the very beginning, right? Symmetra, great plays with the teleporter. Then as soon as he drops, he swaps the Tracer right away, gets back to the fight, in time to keep it going. And then as they go into B, goes to the McCree for that more stable McCree-May combo.
All right, a little bit of a long rotation for New York. They get to the back of the point. Jonak, window in reserve. Likely going to be looking to set before, but Flora has to stay alive. Takes down Creative, but it comes at a cost. Flora out of the fight, 5 on 5. Window is down from Jonak. So as you're looking at the tank battle, Jonak still looking to snipe away. New York, though, needs to get something else soon. You can't be down one player this long. Jonak ends up falling. Bianca's D-Mech. That's Soul's fight.
Yeah, I liked what New York was trying to do here. They did the long rotation around the side so that they could set up with the wall behind them and the amplification matrix in front of them. Make it very hard for Seoul to push into that as they look for a couple picks. It didn't end up working out, of course. Seoul ready for that. But, you know, it was a good attempt by NYXL. But now Seoul kind of holding the cards here. Remember, New York only needs to get this halfway captured. They only need 49.2% to win the map.
Yeah, and I mean, that's actually very important because usually teams on defense, you know, they'll use point as a bit of a resource, and it's not much of a resource Seoul can tap on here, so they have to be ultra respectful to New York when they threaten the point whatsoever. But for now, they got to be respectful of the Earth Shatter. Yakpon waiting, going, who can I shatter here up down? Just one. Jonak finds Toyo off of the pressure. 6 on 5, New York. They're just going to wrap this around Doa.
Yeah, that's massive. He's actually going to charge to get there. You know, if anyone popped out, he would be able to pin them as well. They're in good shape now. There's the wall coming down again. It's going to be Jonak firing through with no creative nearly down. Flora does find Fitz, though.
Flora has so much room here. This is perfect for New York. So as Flora keeps the pressure, going to rotate around, get off the D.Va's bad side. The Deadeye, ready to go. You love this position. Doesn't care about the D.Va. Problem is, probably shoulda. Didn't get as much as he was looking for there. Could have been very deadly, but the rest of New York still on the point. Soul, though, starting to bring this back. Profit and Fitz off the respawn with 2. And this will be enough to throw New York off, but they did not get a single tick.
Yeah, that was so close for New York. I'm actually shocked they didn't come away with that one with the tick. You saw Jonak going after Creative, and he nearly took him out, but Creative was able to get back onto the stairs and avoid that damage. And that was kind of the beginning of what turned it around, right? Because you had a little bit more healing. You could kind of maintain that sustain a little bit and wait for your respawns. And the respawns do come really fast on Hanamura B. So Seoul just kind of playing that to their advantage and causing New York to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and I mean, again, can't overemphasize them not letting New York get ticks. So important, especially when they only have 49.2% give. New York, again, taking the same long rotation. Fitz safe on the other side. New York just kind of in the corner there going, rotate around. What do? Profit, though, good consistent pressure over the top. And I like this defensive set for Seoul right now. It's very smart.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're kind of just matching all of New York's rotations, right? Where they're like, all right, you're going to go around and try to take the high ground. We're going to rotate around the other side, try to maintain that equal level with you. So if anyone tries to jump down the point, we can get that death from above kind of angle going. All right, ult comes in for Toyo. Does manage to find Jonak with it. Good start for Seoul on the defense, and they're going to be just fine. Yeah, wow, Seoul's just matching New York so perfectly on these engages.
Yeah, I mean, what you're seeing, the DPS are kind of setting the tempo to a degree, right? Where Profit is just pelting New York wherever they go. New York is a gang of free entry at any point. And Fitz, again, just gets that safe spot over the corner. I mean, you're running a pretty ground-based comp. Not a whole lot to challenge Fitz there. I mean, not even 4 really wants to fight the Ashe long range. So,
yeah.
Again, I think compositionally, this is looking really nice for Seoul.
It is a beautiful dance of death that we are witness to right now here on Hanamura B. And New York going to try again. You know, they've been using this angle the entire time. I mean, it's really tough to push into the middle, so you can't blame them. Seoul seems to be just so ready. And it's really tough to call these chokes. Okay, they're going to turn around. They're going to try to go the opposite direction now.
I think they're putting some degree of pressure on Fitz, but again, Profit playing this echo here, though. He can just rotate around, get flanking pressure constantly, and so long as no one else at Seoul gets picked, it puts the zoning game here really against New York. They're going to try this angle. Well, they haven't tried.
Yeah, the window again.
Yep. Goes out.
Indeed, Profit. Ooh, that was very close. Flora nearly finds a pick there. Window about to go down. They got to go through. They're going to use the beat to do it.
Beats out. Deadeye coming in from Flora. Toyo out of the fight. One so far here from New York. They still need more. Soul biding their time. Duplicate still in process for Profit here. And Profit! Duplicate's over, but his killing is not free for Profit. It's insane.
Is it enough, though? New York, yeah, Creative comes into the headshot to seal the deal, and New York gets the tick, but they don't get the point, and now just 15 seconds remaining. I don't know what New York does here, ZP. Can Seoul actually hold this? It would be monumental. They bring out the Bastion for Profit, and they're going to set up. I love these last-minute changes. The Arisa, the Bastion, all the shields in the world. Toyo as well.
Enter
it's a pirate ship that's going nowhere. That's right. Enter the meat grinder. As Seoul goes for it. Oh my gosh. ZB, well, they didn't have a chance. That was beautiful.
That's a really smart swap. Oh.
That was a fantastic swap. You know they don't have many ultimates, or really any ultimates coming into that one. You know the angle they have to go through. It's straight down the middle with no time left. You go to the Bastion, you go to the Arisa, you combine that with the Sigma Shield. Just a great swap over there for Seoul at the end. I'm so impressed. Seoul Dynasty came to play today. What can you say?
The way it was set up also was very, very comical. It's like, all right, for our final act, as New York comes in desperate, assemble Voltron. Bastion, Arisa Shield, Sigma Shield in position. It's just like, all right, battle station complete, and the Seoul Dynasty come out of what was a very tough situation, Noah.
Yep, they certainly do. And that's 2 maps now that Seoul Dynasty has been able to take very close performances and turn them into wins. That's been some pretty amazing poise, actually, for Seoul on, just kind of getting the map wins. What can you say? But New York sweating. They got to win this next map if they want to stay alive in the series. I didn't think we'd come in today with 2-3-0 ZP, so I hope we get a few more maps before our time is done on the broadcast. But we're going to take a quick break before we get to that next map, but don't go anywhere. Seoul about ready to try to close it up. We'll see if they can do that when we come back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to the Overwatch League. Doa here along with Zoptimus Prime, otherwise known as ZP, for this awesome series that we're seeing right now. Seoul Dynasty and NYXL playing it pretty close. New York's had a lot of really great plays, I feel like, on Hanamura. They had a lot of really great attempts, but Seoul just ready for them. ZP, do you think New York has what it takes to maybe win our next map?
Yeah, I mean, I think New York's been competitive the entire way through. The problem is that anytime New York is just about there, Seoul just comes out with an incredible play to hang on where, okay, let's be real. Seoul had a little bit of self-inflicted damage there going on, of course, towards the very end of their first push where, it all comes down to Prophet and Prophet just gets clapped, right? Like, that was happening. But, as Prophet takes away, Prophet also gives, where Prophet had an insane Echo performance and just sort of stopped New York's flexibility on the attack. So, it's sort of, as Prophet ebbs and flows, so do the Seoul Dynasty. And, luckily for the Dynasty, it's been more of a high tide than anything else.
It has been. I agree that I was not quite as thrilled with his Genji as I was with some of his other picks here. But hey, I mean, at the end of the day, you get the job done. Now they got to get it done one more time. But this is one of those series, EP, where even though we've got a 2-0, it is about as close a 2-0 as you can imagine. And so I could still see the series going the distance. I kind of hope we get another map or two. We're going to see if we do. We're waiting for the players to get into the lobby right now to get that started. But in your opinion, ZP, what does New York need to do to sort of like win this next map? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but there do seem to me that there are little alterations that maybe need to be made.
I mean, I think alterations is the right word, right? I think, number one, you take a look at things. The rotations that they're doing on Hanamura, I think they need to be a little bit quicker on rotations, where if you compare the two teams, right, Seoul has been very decisive. They're not a team that's, like, really taking a whole lot of time on going in. They pick a plan and go for it, whereas, especially on Hanamura, we saw there, New York was almost getting too cute for their own good with long, sweeping rotations that make you look genius when they work. But when you're going for those long rotations, then you just get sort of corralled by Prophet, where you're the sheep and Prophet is the sheepdog. Well, it doesn't feel so good. You end up wasting a lot of time, and you kind of wish you had just gone in. So, I think just being more decisive, because certainly on a mechanical level, it's super close between the two teams.
ZP, you do realize that the sheepdog is there to protect the sheep, right?
Look,
Wolf would
my
be more
analogy
what
game
you're
is
going
not
for
always
that
on
analogy.
point.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know how ZP is training sheepdogs. Don't buy a sheepdog from ZP. It will kill your sheep. Just
it's true.
So you know.
It's true.
So you know. But I agree. I agree that Seoul has their plan. They stick to it. Whether it works or not is really dependent on sort of Prophet in a way. But, they just sort of seem to be finding that execution. And to me, so far, honestly, the player of the match has been Creative. Creative has been so good on a flex support as far as finding the picks, as far as, again, just all the things I loved from Jonak over the years. Creative is doing all of that stuff today. He is keeping up with one of the best supports ever to play the game, and he's even exceeding him, I think, in some cases. So watching Creative in this next map is going to be one of my priorities.
Yeah, I mean, now you're just reminding me of all the memes of, friendship done with Jonak, now Creative's my best friend. You're just like, I like Jonak, but, Creative, it's 2021. You got to get on the Creative train. That's all I'm hearing now, and honestly, I don't disagree.
No. I'm not going to give up Jonak. He's my number one flex support. But, there's room. There's room at the top for more.
There's room in Doa's support harem, is what you're saying right now?
There is. I prefer to call it support club. If you want to call it a harem, that's fine. I'm not going to judge, but all I'm saying is he's good. He's good. He's on his way. If he keeps playing like this, I'll call him a top support.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's going to be Eichenwald, where New York hopes to turn this into a reverse sweep. Seoul, of course, looking to just end this decisively. And like I said, both teams looking pretty good so far, so excited to see what comes out here. Given how wide open Eichenwald is and how well he's been playing the hero, I kind of would almost expect Prophet to come out on the Echo. The Echo has looked good for him thus far.
Yeah, I mean, there is certainly an option for that. I wonder what they've got in mind. We've got Fitz over on the Sombra, of course. Looks like just a little bit of good old-fashioned dive at the moment here with the Syndra to give you a little bit of a boost into a side high ground here. I liked how they've been using it.
Oh, it's back.
Oh no. It's the Genji. He's back again. Oh boy.
I know we've been talking about how great Prophet is, but now I'm just like a little uncertain.
You can't argue with results, ZP.
Yeah.
He won that map. All right.
Yeah, it's true. more in spite of the Genji rather than because of it, but hey, whatever works.
Yeah, Bianca being proactive about hunting down that Sombra, I think, is pretty important too. Fitz kind of got to run around however he wanted on some earlier maps, so best to keep track of the Sombra if you can. All right, and Toyo over to the Zarya now. I think a little bit of a change.
Flora looking for a little bit of poke here, actually pushed back in turn. Neither team down too much here. Fitz still trying to build EMP, where anytime you're running a Sombra comp, you are sort of on timer waiting for the EMP and looking for crimes of opportunity. But so far, New York playing very tight though.
Oh, playing aggressively too. They're just jumping right down onto Seoul Dynasty right now, actually forcing them into an awkward spot and forcing them back to spawn. That said, they have taken a tick already. Whoa, New York or Seoul just saying, all right, we're just going to go to the point then.
Very close to 2, 0.3 away from 2, in fact. Very, very close. And that one's just gone off the point. Things have gotten
sounds like math CP. I don't do math, but I do know that that is one tick taken. That's right. That's true. Yeah, I can't deny it. Seoul Dynasty does get that first tick though. And I like what New York did. They said, all right, we're not going to wait for you to engage here. We're just going to jump down, come from behind, split you off from spawn, and win a fight like that. They did it without using a whole lot of ultimates as well. So they're in good shape to keep this momentum going.
And again, last time we set this up, Prophet just got slammed into the ground by Flora. But I'm going to say it again. The stage is set for Prophet to have a massive Dragon Blade here. Everything about this, it's EMP, it's Nano, it's a Blade. All the pieces are just about online.
Oh, it's a Jet Monkey. Oh, yeah. Well, the res. Alban Animo gives his life to res Gesture. There comes a Nano Blade anyway. He don't care, that's right.
It's
Prophet gets 3. Prophet gets 4.
Gesture. Yep. Gesture fell down so Prophet could live. That's what you saw there. And it worked out. They were so worried about denying the res, they didn't worry about the jacked up Genji coming in with blue lightning. So, hey, worked out.
That's right. They're standing over Gesture's body there, and with his last breath, he said, "It was all a distraction."
And as a result, but you said attacked by the Dynasty. Not exactly textbook, but got the job done. And now the Dynasty picking up where they left off. They were able to save the EMP, and much to New York's chagrin, Jonak down immediately, and it's about to get worse.
Yeah, that's just a great follow-up for Seoul Dynasty there. You saw Prophet was able to go up on the high part of the castle, and they were able to pinch Jonak off there on the top. I don't think they were expecting that to come so quickly. And New York back to spawn again. That payload's already moving. They're making up for some time.
And that's what you want here, too, because point C, I mean, it's not the easiest point in the world to go after. You need a little bit of time to go there. So, if you get held up at point A, you need the extra. But Graviton in here, Seoul continuing to try and set the pace, set the momentum. Just using Primal. The Bionate hit the back. Friday somehow, some way, still alive. New York, they weather the storm, they punish Gesture, and now Doa, they can just push right back out.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, losing Gesture like that, I mean, he's usually pretty good about getting out. There's the res again. Animo lives after the reso. That's the difference, but they do have to give up the push. We're almost up to another Nano Blade, though, ZP.
Again, set the stage. It's all about profit. You cannot run something more profit-tailored. Now he goes in.
Got
Jonak down. Yakplung down. 2 for profit. You got any more? The damage has certainly been done.
I mean, he had to cut through the Immortality field right away. Lucio trying to get back on, but no such luck, and that's going to be another big push for Seoul Dynasty. Hey, 2 Dragon Blades, 2 Nano Blades rather, 2-1 fights, and 2 points taken. Seoul rolling, and they're going to have a lot of time coming into point C. Oh, maybe not. They get stopped right at the last moment. They got to win this fight.
It's high risk, high reward. I mean, I guess the reward here is you got the EMP out, but this is a fight Seoul should win. Gesture getting a little bit low. If they get Gesture on top of it, this is actually winnable for New York. Because Gesture got pretty low, Profit suddenly out of it. New York has got nearly their full team back out and over. And just when you think it's over, Doa, New York, they make the decision, we're going to fight this. It's looking like it's paying off with Gesture. He stayed alive, he wasn't picked off, the Primal is out. And he's gone.
Oh no. Frozen Monkey, headshotted Monkey. And, you know, you had to say it, ZB. You had to say it. Seoul should win this fight. I heard the words come out of your mouth. What did it do? What did you do? You doomed them.
I cursed them.
You cast their curse to not even take point B.
Yeah. I mean, we were kind of dogging a little bit on Profit's Genji because of what happened on Hanamura. Genji's been great so far in this game. And the execution has been there. And, you know, so far New York has had real trouble stopping Profit when the Nano Blade is online.
Yeah, and it's going to be online again in just a moment. Less than a minute remaining, though. Seoul Dynasty really needs to take this point right now if they want to have any chance of getting through C. Oh, all right, self-destruct. Nobody gets caught with it. Oh, the B gets used too. Oh, but they use it to take out Gesture. Good start.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gesture was repositioned because of the bomb, so the bomb does enough, actually, in the end. Jonak, though, falls 5-on-5. Uh-oh. Nano Blade out once more. Profit, though, spend a lot of time swinging air. Gets frozen and taken down. Ivy with the answer that time around, but Ivy still gets caught out. Seoul can still apply a bit of pressure here, Doa. However, New York has respawns coming in. How long can they delay? Not long.
Not long enough. Nope. With just about 15 seconds remaining, Seoul Dynasty will give themselves a little bit of time to take point C. They're running back to spawn for a quick swap. But ZP, they don't have a lot of time. The question is, how can they capitalize on the EMP from Fitz to get a good push going? They need to get that EMP, they need to win a fight, and they need to keep rolling. They're going to try to do it with a pretty standard look here.
I think you just go forward here. I don't think you need a whole lot of thinking. This is where you turn on your caveman brain and you just hold W, let Fitz land a good EMP, and go from there. Flora goes for the Deadeye early on. And yeah, I think that's exactly what Seoul's going to go for here. They have to burn the lamp a little bit early, so they might wait a moment. They might. But it's also Seoul, so they might not.
Yeah. I mean, they are an aggressive team now. I mean, with Gesture leading the way, this is what you're going to do, right? Pretty far away from any other ults, though. So I think it's EMP or bust here at this point with less than a minute remaining. Yakpunk drops the Shatter, gets dropped. That's right, Creative comes back with the kill. Fitz goes in, looking for that EMP translocator, though. Can he get a good angle for it? They don't even need it. Oh my goodness, Seoul Dynasty is going to keep pushing.
That is perfect for Seoul, and that's because New York, they tried to get sneaky. Yakpunk says, I got the Shatter. Instead, it gets completely blocked, gets absolutely rejected, and suddenly New York has to roll out into the EMP where Fitz gets to just camp out in the Chandelier. Oh, this is going to get worse before it gets better for New York.
Yeah, that's right, Amp. You got to use that EMP now. They did take out Flora already, biding his time. There we go. Big EMP hits 3, gets the Ivy, and gets Yakpunk. Crucially, ZP, Seoul looks like they may be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, 8 seconds left. They might do it with time remaining. Just a little bit. Beat drop towards the end. Oh. Still good if they can drain the clock to 0, and they can't.
2.8 seconds remaining. That is massive for Seoul to get it done with time in the time bank. I had my doubts, CP, but the comp swap was so crisp after point B, and they were able to win a fight without using EMP, and then that paved the way for the EMP to get the final push across the line. Again, beautifully played by Seoul, and I guess, can we even question this Dragon Blade anymore?
No, and I do love this Dragon Blade, though, where normally you go, let's set it up, have everyone alive. Or sometimes you just have Gesture go in super deep. You bait a team by going, Gesture's down, they're going for res. Quickly deny the res. oh god, it's Prophet. He has a Dragon Blade. What have we done? I don't think Seoul planned it to work that way, but it still worked out pretty well as it turns out.
I mean, you know what Gesture's going to do, and he does it well, right? He goes in, he's aggressive, he gets out, you know, we'll say maybe 80% of the time, but the 20% that he doesn't get out, he usually dies for a good reason, and that was one of those moments. Seoul Dynasty, all they have to do is hold. They just need to make sure that NYXL doesn't finish the push, and they will win this series with a 3-0 and a pretty statement victory, I would say.
Yeah, very much so. And, you know, again, it's kind of disappointing if you're a New York fan, because I don't think this New York team is bad. I think they've been playing pretty well in the whole, but Seoul, overall, just been better so far. And I really would say it comes down to decisiveness. Seoul knows how to engage, they don't waste time, and usually it comes down in their favor.
Yeah. All right, Seoul Dynasty, though, on the defense now. Pretty standard push here coming in from New York Excelsior. I'm curious about what havoc Prophet can cause. The back lines goes in along with gestures you'd expect.
New York just kind of slips it, though. Kind of greased up to get through, and Seoul didn't really like it, so New York, their first rotation is good. Now they move to the point from their hand-picked rotation. About to get a tick
really
for
clean
free.
Rotation by New York. Oh, nice. And they jump right onto Animo. Big start. Gesture does get Friday, though, ZV.
Yeah, Friday out of it. And Seoul now going for the dive. Gesture out of the fight, but Fitz, room to work with, takes down Flora and Prophet. Unchecked around the corner. Bianca, though, takes down Fitz. And this is still not at all one fight for Seoul. It's gotten pretty messy. New York's going to have the spawn advantage, Noah.
Oh, Yakpunk. Oh, Prophet was behind him, got the kill, and now Seoul turning this one around. They are going to hold. They're going to give up a tick, but they do manage to hold the point, and this is just the power of Prophet on Tracer. Like, what a mechanics god, right? To, like, make a difference in that fight, to be so evasive that in the end, like, Yakpunk doesn't even know what angle he's coming from. Good start for Seoul, and now they're going to have a lot of ultimates coming online.
Yeah, I mean, general adage for Seoul, no fight is won while Prophet is still around, and that goes double if Prophet is on Tracer. It's just, it's too big of a playmaker.
Oh, no.
And sometimes
Look
the
at
fights
the
don't even begin when the Pulse Bomb comes in.
Yeah, that's right. Immortality
Field
Field saved some lives, but, you know, the damage was done, and now Toyo comes in for the cleanup. Gesture helping out as well, and, man, Seoul Dynasty.
Again,
good.
When Seoul goes in, Doa, they go in. Everyone is immediately in. It's a full team effort, and you know, if it's not Prophet from one end with the Pulse Bomb, it's a tank line that has now just infiltrated your team on the other end. So, and now you look at the time, New York, 2 minutes down.
Yeah, and you know what? You didn't even need to use the Graviton Surge Pulse Bomb combo or anything. You still got the Graviton Surge remaining. They can use an Nano Boost on the Gesture here. For now, he's going to tickle the team and jump out.
Yeah, I mean, good job of forcing Gesture out for a bit. Bob can be invested. Flora looking for the punish over to the left-hand side. Gesture, though, able to get out, uses the Primal Rage. Yakpon drops the Shatter, not much comes of it. Rally almost up here from Animo, and that's what can really turn the fight. Gesture, though, under fire. Doesn't matter. Fitz and Prophet rip it open.
I mean, how about this instead? How about you just don't use the rally and you just save it for the next fight? Because now NYXL has only 1:20 remaining. Yakpunk swaps to the, big time swaps coming in from New York Excelsior. Yakpunk swaps to the Winston, Ivy on the Tracer, Jonak on the Ana now. They're going to try to build up a Nano Boost for the Monkey as fast as they can. Either way, they know they have to get aggressive. Good swaps, but can they work out?
Well, they're going to have to for New York, or the series will be over. 1 minute, point A. New York must go forward. Yakpunk, though, under pressure, gets dominated and just eliminated. The focus fire, unreal from Seoul. And New York
50
down
seconds.
to under a minute. And, this is getting tough.
50 seconds remaining, and the death's even a little bit staggered here. Ivy dying as they were trying to back away. This is massive. No ultimates remaining. Prophet's going to have, maybe a grenade when the next push comes in. They're going to have Bob, but it's, Seoul, one more hold, and they'll 3-out the series.
Final opportunity here for New York. Bianca started off the series strong. Maybe it can be the hero here, but Yakpon again deleted. Yakpon just focus fired and removed from the universe. Prophet does fall for the attempt, but getting through down to main tank is going to be difficult, especially when Bianca is just looking to set up a bomb.
Floor's got to carry. Floor's got to get something done here. They're waiting for Yakpon to come back. Can they even get to the point? Somebody's got to get there. They're going to jump in, and New York.
They got there.
Oh, they do manage to touch it. the toes on the line. Ivy managed to keep them alive, I believe. Creative, though, gets an Nano boost on Gesture. He's going to jump out of the back line, ZP.
Jonak's gone. So is Creative. Both supports out of it. Yakpunk with the Nano to the back. Gesture, though, doing similar levels of damage and more for Seoul. Primal again for Gesture, just continually angry. He's always angry, but it's still not enough. Or so it would seem. Gesture's taken down, and Yorn does stay alive for just a little bit longer.
Wow, I thought when we saw Gesture jump on to Jonak in the back line that that would be it, right? I mean, he seemed so free and clear for the damage, but they managed to keep this payload going. Now, the problem is, remember, they need to finish. They need to push this thing all the way through. They can't get stopped at any point, and they do not have a lot of time to do it. It's not even so much about point B. Sure, they might get through point B, ZP, but like point C, with the amount of time they're going to have left, even in the best of cases, is going to make it very difficult for them to still finish.
Yeah, I mean, New York has to play perfect here, and that is easier said than done against Seoul. I mean, public enemy #1, they're all grouped together. And Toyo just holding out here with the Graviton. So this is where Ivy's looking on the side. It's such a hard engage for New York right now, because even just losing one fight to the Grav, that could pretty much be it.
Yeah, very true. Are they going to use Bob a little bit early just to try to gain some space? There's a grab, though. Hits down. Can they really make something out of this? Gesture going in. He's far away from the Primal Rage, though.
Really nice response from New York. And part of that, though, they were just able to take down Fitz early, so the DPS fall through to the grab just didn't exist as Yakpunk sends Automo to the abyss.
Yep, that's a long way down, and the armor's not going to help you, apparently. It's just going to weigh you down as you fall in the river. And good progress being made by New York, but only a minute remaining, and now some ultimates are going to be up for Seoul.
Not just ultimates, but Prophet. He's infiltrated behind enemy lines. Not usually a great omen for the teams he's up against. As Gesture hops on in with the Nano. Creative, though, down early. Yakpunk, an even bigger dive. Prophet, though, gets the back line, takes down Jonak. The dive of Seoul, pretty deadly. Gesture, though, pays for it, and very back and forth thus far, Doa.
Yeah, kills coming in on both sides. Prophet trying to get a little bit of a cleanup here in New York. Oh, okay, that was bold. That was real bold, but Prophet manages to get the kill there. Okay, New York still can't really push off of this. They need to wait for the tanks, and now we're down to 20 seconds remaining. This is the last push. This is the last push here, and Gesture with the Primal Rage. That is the champion, that is the hero player combination you want if you want a final hold.
Yeah, I don't want to go against Gesture on the bridge at this point. He almost gets bursted down, but again, the timing's so good for Gesture. Drops the Primal. I'll see if we can get something else from it. Meanwhile, York still must push.
Sneaky.
Yep, gets onto it, but seemingly Seoul is aware. Pulse Bomb, though, still up from Ivy, looking for the opportunity. Prophet out of the fight! And New York finding the picks when they need it most, Doa.
I mean, they want a fight like this at the end of point A. Looks like they're going to win a fight like this at the end of point B as well. The stick on the Gesture seals the deal. And New York should be able to get point B done. That said, ZP, they got 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining to push through the rest of the way, but they've got so many resources to do it with. 5 out of 6 ultimates. We may actually see them complete this.
Yeah, I mean, the downside for New York, they don't have time. The upside, they might not need time. They have just about everything they need.
I mean, one big pulse bomb from Prophet could turn it all around. I mean, that's it. They've got a Graviton Surge as well for Toyo now. 1 minute, and they're just delaying. I love the use of Bob here. Just stop the payload. Just eat seconds, you know?
Yeah, well, also just gives you time to set up for the Grav Bomb, which is definitely Seoul's winning condition, but guess what, Bianca? Gonna drop the Graviton first.
There it is.
But Prophet, there's the pulse bomb! You called it, Doa! You called it! And Prophet did not disappoint.
I mean, it's not tough to call that one at all. That is the El Clasico as far as one of the oldest combinations in the book, right? Grab bomb, and it works out. Seoul Dynasty puts New York down to 20 seconds left on the clock. New York got a couple ultimates, but they've got to get back in a hurry.
Yep, Toyo setting it up. Prophet knocking it down. And New York, that huge advantage, though. It's gone even worse. Fitz takes down Ivy. They're going to have to go in without him, Doa. It is a man
it's a 5v6. It's a nightmare 5v6.
Yakpunk just has to martyr himself on the payload. Still alive, but not for much longer. Fitz, the executioner here in the end. That's going to be Seoul Dynasty with the 3-0. A masterclass performance coming out from them.
I am shocked, ZP. That was a 3-0, but that was not a one-sided 3-0. I think it was a resounding victory for Seoul. It was convincing. New York definitely putting up a fight, but in the end, Seoul Dynasty coming at it with a bit of a surprising look. We might not have expected the Nano Blade to play as much of a role as it did in some of these matches, or some of these maps rather. But you got to hand it to Seoul. They came to play. They had a great plan, and they executed perfectly.
Yeah, and I mean, it comes to this idea here is that you never know what profit you're going to get when you watch Seoul historically. I mean, the season is new,
Sure.
but this is a lot more playoff profit than anything else, and that should scare anyone going up against a Dynasty as the May Melee rolls on.
Yeah, I think the Seoul Dynasty team this year is looking really good. If they can keep up this level, I think they're going to be a shoo-in. You know, we'll see if they can make it through the knockout stages a little bit later this weekend, as you'd have to imagine they're going to be there, right? But let's talk a little bit, ZP, about our player of the match. It's going to be creative for Seoul Dynasty. Prophet had some great blades, no doubt about it, but creative, bringing the flex support mastery to the match today, and you really can't ask for much more. He was finding the picks when he needed to. His ultimate usage was great, as you can see. But yeah, in a match where you're playing against one of the best flex supports to ever play the game in Jonak, creative turned it up to a new level and really performed.
Yeah, you were mentioning it all series long. I couldn't agree more. And look, I think for a support enthusiast, this was a great game to watch. Both Jonak and Creative showed up to play. Creative, though, super consistent, and at the end, it's Seoul who won. So a testament to Creative and Seoul as a whole.
Look at that. I mean, the sleep darts we're seeing right now just are blowing my mind. And like you mentioned, it's not to say that Jonak played poorly. He certainly didn't. He played a pretty solid series today too, but Creative just like transcended, you know? He just became that next level flex support, and I could watch this stuff all day. I'm definitely going to be going back and digging into the replays here.
Yeah, it was good stuff from Seoul, and again, a rebound where, you know, you think you can judge APAC, where admittedly a lot of people pick Seoul to win this. Thankfully, I think we both picked Seoul to win this, so we get some redemption on our pickups here tonight, but you never know what to expect day by day, and Seoul definitely impressing.
I mean, I predicted 3-1 for the Seoul victory. I thought at least New York was going to take a map, and they certainly came close to it. This was a closer series, I think, than the number would indicate at the end of the day, ZP. But this was a good one. I feel much better about our casting time here today. The first series was, it was entertaining, but not quite the high level of Overwatch I would like to watch. But this second series really delivered. It was great. What do you think?
On the same note,
any final thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, my final thoughts are this was great Overwatch, but the first match of the day that we casted, that's a historical relic. That's the type of thing that scientists are going to be going back for ages to figure out what happened. There's going to be theories. There's going to be debates. It'll never be settled. Whereas here, we can just say Seoul played well, so it's better Overwatch. But what was really more memorable, duh?
I mean, that first series, though, I mean, historical in that, too. That Kriv got MVP of the match 2 matches in a row in the same matchup, but for different teams. Like, that's the thing that kind of blows your mind with that one. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be crunch time once again, so do not go anywhere. More Overwatch League coming at you right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Xfinity, the preferred internet provider of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to the late night Overwatch League experience that is Doan ZP. It's been a lot of fun. Seoul Dynasty getting the 3-0 over New York Excelsior in convincing fashion, ZP. It was exciting. It's time for crunch time. It's time for Cheez-It Grooves, crunch time, mind crunch, explosion of flavor, of skill that we saw. The moment that we're deciding to go with was one of the most memorable ones. Why don't you break it down for us, ZP?
Well, of course, the crunch that comes in is when you think you still have a chance to delay it out, to go for that Hail Mary play.
Oh my goodness.
When you think you still have a chance, and then you roll up to Hanamura, you gotta go down the gut, and what's meeting you? It's Voltron. It is Bastion with 2 shields in front of him, just waiting to mow you down as you head on in. I can think of no greater moment of getting crunched than
Like
that.
Bianca, like, nope.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you do? There's literally no way you can beat this. And I'm using literally in the most appropriate literal sense.
Yes.
There is literally no way you can beat this because you have to think about the amount of time that was left for New York, right? They had to jump on the point. And when you do that, you're gonna have no defense. Shoot through the shield instantly like that. Bianca comes in and he like nopes out immediately behind the pillar. And then, what do? Not only do you have the 2 shields, but then really smartly Toyo jumps ahead in the last moment there, and you can see him use the shift, use the absorb to just make those shields last even longer. So great last minute swap, very cute, but they played it perfectly. And Seoul Dynasty, I mean, just an excellent series and doing a great job getting the 3-0 over New York.
Yeah, I mean, Seoul showed a lot of looks. They played those looks very convincingly overall. And, I think the entire league should just be a little bit scared when you see playoff Seoul just showing up in the regular season and showing up pretty regularly. I mean, we like to bring up historical trends of teams going, okay, what Seoul are we actually going to be seeing this season? Surely they're going to slump. But, maybe this is a season where Seoul goes, but what if we had playoff Seoul all the time? And
that's right. What if we played great all season long? Yeah. Well, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the roster to do it. Seoul Dynasty, of course, coming so close with their roster last year to winning the whole thing. So maybe they tasted that sense of victory. They're going to go for it this year. It's going to be great. That's going to do it for ZP and I here on the desk. We're going to hand it over to the next series, next casters. It's going to be Shanghai Dragons versus Hangzhou Spark. Don't miss that. Another great match of Overwatch League coming at you in just a few. Do not go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch. The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by State Farm. For auto, home or renters insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's hacked to go into car, but he actually gets away despite getting hacked over to the side. And that Mayhem coming alive. Rocket Bros coming in and finding 2, despite that Blizzard falling down and actually finding some of the members from Spark.
Want to lead to try to keep him up. Not going to be good enough. Leaving Jimmy both getting eliminated. Great little pinch there from Fleta. Finds the Widowmaker, who will get rest back into the fight. Shanghai Dragons are an absolute tear at the moment. Oh, Charge not building up, but no, actually keeps the Blizzard.
Oh, take that for a look right there. The Shatter coming in. Guangzhou, he gets stuck here, and now being able to clean up the point. It's going to be a wipe out here for the Fusion with Spark now making their way over to this
reserve Bob already out. And now they're looking for Void. Oh, what a gigantic
3K. I can't believe he hit that.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Overwatch League. I am Achilles, jumping on for the cast alongside Avril yet again. It's been a nice little break here, Avril, coming back after a week off. Now we get ready to jump into some more matches, and I could not be more excited.
Yeah, we got a good one. Shanghai, Hangzhou. We just saw some really interesting games a little bit earlier. Sadly, LA Valiant still have not gotten their first win. New York as well has been having a bit of a topsy-turvy season so far in the early stages. I mean, we'll see. Is Shanghai going to make the bounce back as well? What about Hangzhou Spark? They're kind of in a little bit of a weird place, 0-2. I think they really need these games, and something I'm discovering, Seth, is especially in the APAC region here in the eastern side of things, you ideally want a 3-1 record to make it into the May Melee. A 2-2 would be the minimum requirement. So Hangzhou Spark, they're required to win this game today. They're required to win this match and their next one to at least go 2-2 and give themselves a shot.
Yeah, we'll see how it happens. Of course, guys, worth shouting out down there at the bottom of your screen, the new MMA skin is out in the shop. Make sure you guys pick it up because it's always great to see some Overwatch League content getting added into the game itself. Zoe Spray, of course, is also in there amongst a lot of other things, a lot of other goodies that we have prepared throughout the season. So make sure you pick it up while you can. It's a limited run, so you got to get it before, I think, the May 11th. So you've got about 2 weeks to be able to snatch that up. But we can go ahead now and focus a little bit further into this series with Shanghai Dragons versus Hangzhou Spark. The bounce back, as you mentioned, for Shanghai, super important. Spark just kind of overall looking for some improvement, but Shanghai, they want to come back into this after getting swept by the Chengdu Hunters.
And just one last thing I'll say about the May skin as well. When I first saw the name, I was like, is that May? No, it's MMA, of course. I got it after a little bit, but there it is. I just had a little bit of trouble reading it. Hangzhou Spark, though, yeah, that 0-2 really hurts right now. As far as the 0-3 for Valiant, I think their run in May Melee is kind of out at this stage. You can see for Guangzhou Charge as well, they need to win their next game. New York would have to be required to win their next game. And, Seoul's looking pretty decent. Shanghai on the bounce back. Maybe we'll have to see how things go today. 1-1's a lot more comfortable than an 0-2 because there's only 8 teams here. 4-0 obviously means Philadelphia are in there. Chengdu with 3-1, they're in there as well. If you make 3-1, you're like in the top 4 here. You get to go into the regional tournament knockouts. If you're 2-2, you're probably waiting for a tiebreaker. If you're 1-3, you're gone. If you're 0-4, you're obviously gone.
Yeah, it's just, rough positions to be in. So, unfortunately for the Valiant, for the Spark, they need to kick it into high gear. And I mean, if the Spark could come out swinging and manage to take down the Shanghai Dragons, it'd be a really good boon for them to try to make a run or at least just, give some more faith in the fans for the next tournament split that we'll have coming up in June. Taking a look at our starting 6, though, for the Shanghai Dragons. It's going to be the usual suspects. We have seen some swap-offs on the DPS line here for Shanghai, but it will be Fleta and Lip to kick off the series.
And probably not expecting DM to come in unless it's, the last time he came in was, for Watchpoint Gibraltar. Everyone kind of remembers that Shanghai lost to Chengdu, though, and Chengdu have kind of solidified themselves as one of the top teams in the APAC region. I truly think Chengdu are probably the top 2 currently alongside the Fusion. And beyond that, we still have a few questions to be answered, of which the Hangzhou Spark. I mean, we have Somitsu starting out on the first map. Shai's coming in. These 2 guys we've only seen for 1 map previously when Spark have played, so they'll be starting together now. No Godspeed, no Architect, and this Spark roster has played at least one of Godspeed or Architect pretty much the entire way through. Tested out a little bit of Takoyaki, back on to Kushui. Burner, IDK, and MCD have been there the entire time. And while Spark, I think the biggest question mark or maybe topic that's been talked about recently here, Seth, is the fact that Spark did have a coaching staff change, and I do wonder how much of an impact that's going to have on the team.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really fast turnaround and a big step up, for the new coaching staff to take hold of this roster and try to find some success and, make up for the initial first few matches where, they haven't been able to find too much success. Somitsu, though, coming back in, it's good to see. He's undefeated currently in the Overwatch League. The one map that he did play, he was able to win it. So that's a really good boon for them. So we'll see if that is going to be a carrying trend as we move forward into Nepal for our first map of Control. Can go straight into the action here, Avril. Not wasting any time. We're going for the 112 tonight, it would seem. 2 back-to-back quick series, and we're straight into game. Feels like less than 5 minutes since the last one finished.
And I do wonder, what do Hangzhou do with Somitsu and Shai? It's going to be Village first. I'm seeing Shai on towards the Symmetra. He'll be changing over towards the McCree. So likely it's going to be, Somitsu May. He can actually kind of hover the Reaper. Maybe he brings it out. That's a Somitsu special. Obviously it's Friday now, so why not? Here we go. Ball's coming through straight away. And the first brawl where you already have Kushui taking a bit of damage.
He does manage to back out, so they don't get that full punish. Couldn't quite get the gap close on him, so you can see the panic in Gushwei's eyes for a moment as he turns around and there's a wall blocking him off, but does successfully retreat in with the rest of his squad. More walls coming up on the side. This is going to be the first one to get picked. That's a good opening for Shy. And without that, supercharged beam coming through from the Symmetra, they can press forward. Wall coming up to try to block off the remaining members, but Shy, fan of the hammer, breaks through. Mortality field up, now going to be destroyed for both squads. Nar and Gushwei both getting beaten and battered, taking a little bit low, and they will find the finishes. Izayaki builds up a very rapid wall there, gets the window down. They find the kill on the enemy main tank.
And that's the thing, even with the lip down, Izayaki gets the first ultimate, Fate even charges up this Earth Shatter as well, and we don't have anything to work with on the Spark side of things. They get lip down, and that should be enough. That's got to be most of the damage from Shanghai gone, and still Shanghai manages to overpower the Spark. The fight's still continuing, at least for a little bit, with Shy going down. Just extra deaths on the side of Hangzhou Spark.
Just great awareness there from Izayaki, gets the call, but is on the flank. He spots that low HP bar, throws out the immortality field immediately, and it's enough to save his life, so they win the little extended fight here and build up towards some of these ultimates. Izayaki already at 65% for the next Amp Matrix. Nearly at 6 though for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, so let's see if they can utilize some of these. Before we do have that Sim barrier come out from Lip to try and get a flip on the point. Shatter straight in around the corner, but the ice block does come through from So Min-soo, keeping himself protected. Deadeye coming up to return Shatter from Gushwei is absolutely huge. The Deadeye from Shy manages to find 2. Looks for the pin, not able to find anything. Lip will take out Gushwei, but then he falls in it. That's going to be good enough here for the Spark. They throw a couple ults at the port. Everything sticks. Now they get the point flip getting ready to come through.
I think Shanghai knew they were down ultimates there as well. Their only real shot was to try and catch the Spark off guard, and maybe a Shatter coming through from Fate that Spark are not ready for. Just a little bit of scouting there. Great block coming through from So Min-soo, like you said. If we're Hangzhou Spark to not quite be hit by a Fate Shatter, just kind of allows the Hangzhou Spark to have this massive ult advantage they could walk through with, of which they still save too, importantly, to have that pendulum swing over to the other side. This is where Dragons will have the ultimate advantage. Finally, the Photon Barrack pop down straight away.
Yeah, Wall coming up defensively as they hide in the corner. Bernard around the back does have that self-destruct. He's going to throw it out. Shy on a nice flank, comes around the side, gets rid of Izayaki. And Matrix now not really going to be utilized, at least not for heals. Pushing on with the right click will take out Gushwei, but it's at the cost of Fate and Lip. It seems like Spark shouldn't be able to win this follow-up fight. Self-destruct from Void will get a pick as MCD falls. That's not going to be good enough though. Shy swinging out wide on this flank angle, catches Splitter with no HP, manages to get the kill. Now they're just looking for the DMech on the Void to buy some extra time, but the heals are flying in from Izayaki to try to keep him in that suit. Seems like they might just be able to get him out of there. The poop off the side, Jets do come back up. They'll retreat over as IDK looks for an extra kill. Hasn't quite been able to find Lee Jae-gon, however.
Extra stagger, Izayaki dies fairly quickly there, pops down the window. Lee Jae-gon doesn't save him with the sound barrier. IDK drops onto all 6, they're fine. And now as we start moving forward, more ultimates for the Hangzhou Spark, looking towards that Blizzard. Definitely caught up now as far as percentage goes on the actual cap itself. Hangzhou Spark, decent bounce back. They lost that first fight, but since then, it's been all Hangzhou all day. Shy of the Deadeye. Open up with that one. That could be a pretty decent one to start things out with.
Throw the wall up. Spletta forces them off the high ground back down to the point now, but just looking at the ults, kind of have to favor the shot. The Spark rather just a little bit here. Stuns come in, Immortality field thrown down to try to keep them alive. Gushwei will be the first one to fall. Fate finding the kill. Blizzard picking away, however, from So Min-soo. They look for the follow-up. Izayaki and Fate now eliminated. Knockout on Bernard's mech. The Baby Diva will fall. Recap starting to come through, but it's with a very limited roster right now for the side of the Shanghai Dragons as they look to take this. Punching coming through, gets IDK. The flip is there, but Spark, they're at 99%, and they're coming back with ults.
Really, for Flitter as well, Flitter goes into the full cryo freeze there to dodge out So Min-soo's Blizzard, has the counter Blizzard ready to go, but is very trusting in his team to stay alive. Importantly, Lip didn't go down there. Lip must have got himself out of that Blizzard come through from So Min-soo, so with Flitter dropping down his own Blizzard, Lip getting the damage in was enough. Trey, you ready for Fate around the corner again? Shatter's available. This is going to be final fight territory, 80% plus on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, and importantly, that window is available for Izayaki. They need to use this sooner rather than later.
Oh, dropping down. It's looking for the setup. He'll manage to find Gushwei. All targets, that is one that they cannot afford to lose. That is going to be the Shadow taken out of the fight. Gushwei going to have to try to run back. 98%. They do manage to tap in. force out overtime as the sound barrier comes in from Lee Jae-gon, topping up Lip, keeping him in the
IDK
fight.
dead.
Tracks down IDK on the wall. That's going to be the sound barrier now removed before he can get it online. At 99%, it seems like that might be as good as it gets here for the Spark in all facets. The shadow from Gushue goes straight into the Shield of Fate. A great block from him. They zone them off the point long enough, and the Shanghai Dragons will be able to take Village, but it's damn close between the two teams.
What an insane wall coming through as well from Fleta, just blocking out the rotation from the Hangzhou Spark. And then on top of that, Deadeye will collect Gushue, such an important member to get down. That's the Earthshatter gone. IDK dies at 98%, I believe, towards the sound barrier. And EJ Gun knows, like, I'm not waiting for anything. There's no Blizzard coming in. We can get the shadows off the table at this stage. Go for a tempo sound barrier. There's no response from the Hangzhou Spark. As soon as EJ Gun goes for that ultimate, I'm looking at IDK. Where's the response? Is there a response? There's not going to be one. So, big final fight coming through from the Shanghai Dragons to secure things, but a lot of back and forth. Kilios, I've got to say, it's 99 to 100. Hangzhou Spark were definitely holding their own. I think Lip probably overstayed on the Symmetra, if anything, in the early fights. I didn't think you'd really want to be on Symmetra for that neutral, but there it was, and now it goes. No team wants to fight with Symmetra. It's going to be pretty much an exact even mirror on both ends.
Yep. Just across the board. Flip the May and McCree around in their positions. Otherwise, you got it. Gushue taking a ton of damage as he approaches the point. So is Void on the other side. Summon Su, however, they're going to be the first one to fall. Good shot coming up from Lee Jae-gon, getting that kill. Looks to follow up onto the Baby Diva, but Lip will snipe her out of the air. And it's going to be a very clean first fight win here for the side of Shanghai.
And that's Soma Su just dying. What did he die to? Lee Jae-gon somehow. It's another very early neutral being won. So Cap, Shanghai looking at ultimates. Last time Shanghai actually got ultimates before they won that neutral, and you start to see Izuyaki drop down a window way before MCD. That's actually going to happen again. Izuyaki on 80, MCD on 42, so this is a very fast amplification matrix versus what the side of Spark currently have. And I mean, can they even rotate through this area on top, because it's been guarded pretty heavily by Shanghai Spark know it, and they have to rotate through main instead.
Yeah, just go ahead, swing around that left side. Look to get in onto the point from here. Wall coming up, trying to block Gushue in. Just has to keep that shield raised. Would love to take some swings in. They're trying to build up where that shatter. Even as they try to continue to aggress, they do have this amp matrix that can be used. Izuyaki's still going to be holding onto it as Lip pitches for something with that Deadeye. Doesn't manage to find anybody, but IDK does get picked off. Bernard getting beaten and battered, will get knocked out of the mech. So Minsu taken down again before he can use this Blizzard. And it's just going to be some further additional staggers here on the back end of the fight as Izuyaki tries to get another amp matrix online.
I thought maybe it was going to be amp matrix. Amp matrix from Izuyaki first. It ends up being the Deadeye coming through first as well, and this is off the back of, I believe, IDK dying, so no speed for the engage or the disengage. MCD eventually does have an amp matrix, but the team is dead. 66% and counting up, 2/3 done for the Shanghai Dragons. Spark will be able to come back in with the ultimates finally. There is going to be that one Deadeye advantage, plus the amp matrix, I say, but Izuyaki is honestly getting another one very quickly. This needs to be a fast fight. Deadeye straight away from Shy.
Speed boost to try to move Shy up onto the point just a little bit faster, but he's not going to be able to find anything with that. Now the wall coming up, trying to lock him in. He's trying to break it down with the fan, the hammer. Immortality field comes out to try to keep him alive. Sound barrier is going to be there from Lee Jae-gon. IDK still 25% away, so cannot match. Summon to the first one to fall yet again. Not going to be able to use the Blizzard to try to turn around the fight. Just gets picked off. Bernard desuited. Throws out the self-destruct, but won't be able to find anything. Punch to the back of the skull, finishes him off, and it's looking like this is going to be 100-0 after a very close round. And Summon Su throws at the Blizzard, but I don't know exactly where it was. I think it might have been backed by the dropship because he knew it was done. Shanghai Dragons take it very cleanly. A very swift reply from them after a close round on Village. They move over to the Shrine, and it's just not close at all.
I mean, this needed to be that Deadeye fight coming through where you see Shy being sped in with the Deadeye. That has to be the successful fight for the Spark, or there's just not going to be one at all. Sound barrier advantage once again going the way of Shanghai Dragons. IDK's like 10% or so away again. We're just not quite hitting the ult timings. Soma Su, yeah, he does have the Blizzard available, but the kind of contrast of what we saw is when we were on Village, Fleta had the Blizzard at the same time as Soma Su. Soma Su gets a Blizzard first. Fleta survives the Cryo Freeze and then still ends up dropping a Blizzard into counter. Soma Su, he gets caught, he dies, and it's all over. Gushue gets caught in the Blizzard as well, refrozen by Fleta, and it's done. This was just a case of Spark being behind the 8 ball on Village consecutively, and they never caught up.
Well, a rough start here for the side of the Spark, but Shanghai Dragons flying high at the beginning of the series, now kicking things off 1-0. Map 2 is going to be coming up next, and we'll see if the Spark can tie it, or if Shanghai Dragons will just continue to run away with this. So don't go anywhere, guys. Map 2 coming up in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Indeed, we help people get jobs. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
All right, welcome back. Well, a very swift first map there in the series. Nepal goes the way of Shanghai Dragons. A little bit of back and forth in the first round, but as we go to Shrine, Shanghai very much collecting themselves, and Spark kind of falling apart a little bit at the seams. Weren't able to build a cohesive team fight. Never really got on the point at all. So 100-0 to close out Nepal. Now we look forward to Volskaya Industries to see if the Spark can turn this around.
It's a case of Spark, especially on, definitely on both the sub-maps, but way more exposed on Shrine there, just how far behind they are in those neutrals. They're struggling to get the ultimates. The first neutral on Village goes long enough that the ultimates become a factor, but the neutral on Shrine ends so quickly off the back of just, individual picks coming through. Who died early? I think it was IDK that dies early, but no matter what, there's always this kind of early death on the Spark they have to come back against. And Shrine was really rough for them because they never caught up. We didn't even see the sound barrier. We saw none of that. What we are seeing now, though, is some of the substitutions coming on through. So DM over Lip, Architect over Soman Su. And what's got to be sad about this is, it's Friday, but we didn't even get to see the Reaper. Soman Su's gone. Maybe he'll come back a little bit later, but it's going to be the Shy and Architect show for map 2.
Yeah, and that also shatters Soman Su's perfect record in the Overwatch League, so now he's got a 50% win rate, so
50-50
cut in half, unfortunately, for him, but we'll see if he's going to be able to, maybe make a reappearance later on in the series, especially if Spark can extend things, because, no one wants to have 3-3-0s in an evening. Give me a 5-map set. Give me something to yell about for a while. I got vocal cords of steel. I can yell for hours on end. I don't like this hour-and-a-half nonsense where the matches come in and I don't even get to put any strain on my voice.
Overwatch,
come on. Yeah, I need to be irresponsible with the use of my voice.
Overwatch, right?
Yeah,
we'll see, it could be a good one. Could be a good one. I think Shy, Architect together, what you could expect here is Shy's actually come in for a decent amount of Sombra. The Ashe has been there as well. Architect on just about any sort of hero. Trace has been decent. Possibility of an Echo, although the way I look at this moving into Volskaya is probably more Ashe Tracer-based gameplay, which is what I'm expecting. Would explain why DM's in as well, for the Tracer DM on towards the Ashe, and that's probably the case for both sides. Fate and Gushwei on the ball here. I'd probably look at that as well. It's a very popular pick on Volskaya. So we'll see if the Fate ball matches up. A lot of people have been looking at and zooming in Fate, especially when Shanghai's losing. People have been zooming in on Fate. So, Fate's Rhyme, cool. Winston, cool. We'll see if the ball matches up as well. Gushwei, not really known for the ball. We'll see if that works out for him. Obviously, these players can go towards... you could still play the double bubble here. The backline of Hangzhou Spark was a bit of a letdown in that last map, I got to say, on Nepal. Part of both players being picked out, not getting ultimates early. Iziaki outpacing MCD hardly. Jagon outpacing IDK hard as well. Those are two things, and especially on the support line, that I need to see changed and improved for Spark in this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. And again, you know, this is a team that is undergoing, you know, a very serious change in having the new coaching staff and whatnot. So it is going to take a little bit of time. There is some leniency that we can, you know, give to the Spark, you know, for the moment while they do get adjusted to the new coaching staff and whatnot. So, you know, things need to get strung together. It's very much the same for NYXL. They've got a lot of rookies coming together. There's going to be some, you know, quote, stage jitters happening now that they're playing on the big broadcasts and whatnot. So, I think we kind of all anticipated that the May Melee, the start of the 2021 season, was going to be a little bit rough for some of these squads. It's about seeing that improvement as time goes on.
Sure.
So for June especially, we're going to be looking for some wild improvements for all of these teams that are currently struggling.
Yeah, I think if you're Spark and we're looking at this from a long-term project kind of prospecting, I agree with you. But in the short term for now, if we're looking at May Melee, like I said before we got into the first map, it's a must-win series for the Hangzhou Spark. If they go out here, it's a 1-3 record. What? Yeah, they're not going to have a good enough record. At best, it's a 1-3 record, I should probably say. So, I don't know. It's do or die here for May Melee specifically. I agree. Again, I agree with you that if we're looking towards a longer term, with the coaching changes, not expecting massive improvements right off the bat, although you're hopeful, I think if you're a Hangzhou Spark fan, you're hopeful that the coaching changes will improve things. But you're up against Shanghai Dragons, which is maybe a bit of an unlucky time to go up against a top team in APAC. And I know what you're about to say, Shanghai just got 0-3 by Chengdu, but that was a couple weeks ago. We'll give Shanghai a little bit of benefit of the doubt here because they have been a top team. We'll give them one loss. They always lose to Chengdu early in the season. You know how it is. And now Shanghai Dragons look like they're at least back to normal form.
Yep. Well, wild swap's going to be coming through. Seems like we will just end up with this Tracer Ash Mirror. You have Gushway, however, on his signature Winston.
So double bubble coming through from the Spark. And it will be the Sigma Ball coming through from the side of the Shanghai Dragons. The Jagon into the Mercy as well, pocketing DM. That's where the damage is going to come from. So they've decided where the carry potential is going to be. Gushway down instantly, and there it is, pocketing onto DM, plus the Discord as well. Damage boost, and Gushway is melted.
Yeah, I mean, good pile driver as well. Puts Gushway's head right above the bubble. DM playing up close is inside of it, so they managed to break it down. They get the kill. So it's a good early start here for him. IDK as well, coming under the pressure. It's Fleta and it's Izayaki. A nice little crossfire set up. Fleta just keeping his attention from the front. Izayaki getting those orbs in from behind the shield. So a good initial start to the hold here for the Shanghai Dragons. Lee Jae-gon nearly with the Valkyrie online. As MCD gets domed there for just a second by DM. Will get top back up.
Izayaki, by the way, I believe first in damage as Zenyatta across the board, so very dangerous Zenyatta player. And now as we start heading to the ultimates, you got potential for a tempo Valkyrie in play. You have, Architect on the other side, quite close to the pulse. It's the Nano that we're waiting for, though. Nano on the Gushway to open the door. Bernard doesn't really have energy to play with it because Hangzhou have been reset so many times. And they lose sight the worst moment here at Kilios. They're waiting to engage with Nano, and they're down a player.
Yeah, now they can't go. We just kind of have to wait this one out. Bernard, seeking that Discord for just a second. Architect still going to be committing the pulse bomb to the fight. Doesn't manage to find a stick. No kill. Fleta doing the same. Also going to be a miss. So no extended punishment onto the side of the Spark. But as I say that, I am just caster cursing it. Yep, Izayaki. He finds IDK yet again. A few members still going to be stuck in the garage, but now they're going to pull the trigger on this. That's going to be the go button. Izayaki does fall. Good pinch there from Architect. So does not get to use it, but the res comes in from Lee Jae-gon. They don't get a punish here onto the Mercy, despite the fact that the Bionate did connect. DM going to be gone. Izayaki still holding on to the Transcendence, however. Pushed into the corner. Trying to peel for him by using this Flux. Jae-gon going to get dropped and straight it out for Gushway before he can get the Primal Rage up. Still not really stepping onto the point, not generating any percentage. Void just trying to displace Bernard and kill this high energy Zarya, but they finally break free, get out of the cubbies, out of the garage, make their way onto the point. They're going to start ticking up.
Honestly, that's not bad from Gushway and the back of MCD as well. This fight's not quite over fully. Izayaki gets shy, and now Fleta and the rest of Shanghai actually back and towards play. Izayaki quite low. DM can still bob this. If they really want to play, the bob has to come out, and it does.
Yeah. Does get tossed in. Bernard is getting rolled over there by Fate. I mean, not getting the kill onto Fleta. He comes right back into the fight, and I mean, Izayaki just sitting unhindered in the back the entire time. He picked up like 4 kills in this extended fight on the Zenyatta. I mean, we were talking about it before the series even started. Izayaki is leading in so many metrics right now as far as Zenyatta is concerned. He's right in the middle when it comes down to deaths. So 5th fewest deaths, and I mean, just leading the charge in things like damage and healing from transcendences and whatnot. He's getting so much value, and this is this map already is such a clear showing of why he is on top.
I can tell you right now, Izayaki currently has more damage done than Bernard does in the Zarya, so that's saying a lot currently in terms of what Zenyatta is bringing to the table. He's nearly got another trance. He used the tempo trance after being raised up. Bernard hasn't used the grab yet, and Izayaki's back into action. They're ready to go, but Void has the flux as well. The nano comes on through. Kushrin needs to find value.
He's looking for Legion Gun, but he's not going to be able to find it. The pulse bomb comes in, and everybody just collapses in onto the Winston. They take him out. Grab is used. They do manage to find a couple kills on the back end. Now Architect coming in with 2. Bernard scooping 1 apiece, and it seems like finally the Spark will be able to lock this down. It's going to be an OT as Fate just gives himself up. So they do get the cap onto point A. Will not be seeing a full hold here. But, I mean, time bank severely limited. Only going to be 3 minutes added here for them, and there's several defensive options available now for the side of the Shanghai Dragons to hold this out a little bit longer. They have the flux, the minefield to clear the point. So let's see how Spark tries to pilot this.
I gotta say, you know, Hangzhou Spark look like they've been struggling on that attack, but when they do have Nano available and Gushui finds the good target, he drops onto Lee Jae-gon, forces the tempo trance from Izayaki because they can't afford to lose Lee Jae-gon's Mercy. Because of that, there's no trance versus the grab. So we talked about, yeah, Izayaki's got this grab, got the trance for the grab, doesn't get used to the counter. Void has the flux, drops it on top of both, and well, IDK's gone.
Yep, cleans up both of the supports. They're still going to be committing the minefield here to the fight, so we'll see if Fate is going to be swapping up anything after using this, or if he still wants to stick in with the Wrecking Ball. Either way, Gooseberry completely contained upstairs, just gets eliminated in the end. And it's going to be a solid hold. Fate going into the back, it's a knock-up, sets up for the kill onto Shy, and now he'll just retreat back into the rest of the team.
Right, so there's not going to be a double cap, and if you're Hangzhou Spark, you really would have liked to have seen a double cap. You lost a lot of time over towards A. You know, do a little bit of catch-up here. And another interesting factor is after A was done, Izayaki's damage on Zen was only 100 behind Flitter's damage on Tracer, so Izayaki had been pumping up damage. That gap has widened a bit now as we progressed over towards B and looking over towards the next nano. That's really the time that Spark has been looking for. Again, every single nano onto Gushui has at least found value in terms of pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if Gushui finds the ability to land on Lee Jae-gon again. That's Valkyrie having to be instantly popped. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of focus having to go over towards Gushui, who will have a primal as well.
I mean, just look how far forward Shanghai are fighting right now, just playing completely away from the point. They're not concerned at all about any sort of back cap. They just say, you know what, we can contain them at the gate. They invest the bomb up front. They reroute the Spark, delay their approach by about 20 seconds or so there. Just on the back of that one ultimate. Mana boost is online. Can use it for Gushui. He does have the primal. Needs to get an immense amount of value with it.
It's taken a lot of time to get here. I mean, the time bank wasn't that huge, but down to just 1 minute now, which means this almost needs to be a perfect fight. There's not really a lot of room to reset. Shy onto Fate. Here we go. That's the go signal. Lee Jae-gon must raise that.
Yeah, that is huge. Fate gone. Valkyrie going to get popped by Lee Jae-gon. Let's see if he can pull off the res. So far, haven't been able to see it. Pulse bomb going in. DM going to be taken down as Gushui jumps up to the top. They look for the res. They will put DM back into the fight. Fate now respawn, but getting melted off screen. Primal Rage going to get popped. They're looking for the kill. They will be able to find it. The bomb from Shy taking down Fate as well. Now Lee Jae-gon swatted out of the sky like the moth that he is. With Void gone, it seems like Hangzhou Spark should be able to get the cap on the B. The question is, can Shanghai Dragons try and delay and force this into overtime? And 17 seconds remaining to grab. Not going to find anything there from Bernard zoning, as you say. They're ticking up onto the point. It's just 12 more seconds to be bought, but they cannot touch. They cannot get there. They cannot force this into OT. So Spark, they managed to complete Volskaya with time in the bank.
Huge. I mean, that opening shot coming through from Shy, getting that player advantage. Fate goes down. No res. Lee Jae-gon goes Valkyrie. I don't know if he attempted to go for it or not. Maybe Fate dies into a really unresable spot. But a 6v5 confirmed, and for Hangzhou Spark, the most important fight. They even, they capped with 11 seconds remaining. So that's what I'm talking about. Is there's no real time to reset here. If they lose a player, they have to think about: do we go 5v6? Do we have time to wait? I guess we could wait. At that point, you guarantee the overtime. If they go and they lose that fight over a full commit, though, I think it's done. And you have another situation where Izayaki has to tempo trance, or he chooses to tempo trance. I'm looking towards Bernard's ult. He has Gravel on Surge available. Doesn't end up needing it. Just sends out a message, sends out a statement that says, here's a zoning grav. Didn't even need it to win. Boostrate MCD plus Shy, nano boost, and then Shy shooting people carried that entire fight. And well, Hangzhou Spark with 11 seconds to spare are gonna get across that finish line. Just.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Shanghai can set up for themselves. Spark need to be looking for this all-in play just to try to hold them at A. I feel like it'll just kind of slip up from there. Fleta maybe looking for a pop shot at the very beginning, see if he can get A headshot onto somebody like IDK, MCD would be huge value.
And there's no mercy.
But no, it's not
So
going to
it's
go for it.
That'd be like a permadeath.
Yep.
Like I said, no, I think you should go for it. It'd be kind of cool, you know, you go for it, and if you do get it, it's pretty high value. You don't lose that much by going for it. Once again, Lijiagon starts out on Mercy, pocketing DM. That's where they want the most of their damage to come through. That being said, though, DM is maybe not doing as much damage you'd expect. It's actually Shy, top of the tables here, on like nearly 7k. He's really pumping it out. Flitter takes quite a big hit as well.
So does Bernard, though. Being chunked down below half HP. Bionade in onto Izayaki. They're looking for the finishing blow. Haven't been able to find it. He's still just fishing for these right-click hold kills. Get it, but they slow up Shanghai Dragons as the healing has to come through. On zoom in ahead, nearly with that Valkyrie online, just to make him that much more annoying to lock down in the skies.
Kind
Left
of
side,
racing
just a little
MCD,
bit
by
of
the
a
way. It's this nano that we're
Yep.
waiting for. Again, you really have to look at the double bubble and say that's the win condition. Bernard's taking damage. As long as no one on Spark is dying, it's fine. You're just trying to build forward MCD's nano. He's nearly got it now. They can engage. Shanghai's taking a lot of space, which means as soon as nano's available, Gusha and MCD gotta go.
Up over
Like
the top
now.
is Fade. Bubble thrown down, zapping onto multiple members. The nano boost does go through. It's on the Gushway, pushes into the back, manages to find Izayaki. He's looking for a little bit more. Reinforcements now, storming through. He makes it out, 17 HP. Can somebody get some heals onto this man? No, they cannot do so. And Lijiagon gets the res onto Izayaki, so the nano play on a Gushway, it ends up just getting counter-punished very heavily. Now the back of the fight is just going all the way of Shanghai Dragons. They will clean this up. They will get the cap, and it is going to be a monstrous time bank available to Shanghai to take the second point.
And it was starting to look positive for Hangzhou as well. They finished the map, can A, be successful. We're just eyeing down that nano boost to see if it can be played in time. The most important thing that happened there, though, was that Shanghai took a lot of space for free. You saw them kind of start pushing back against Hangzhou, who are losing space, losing more and more angles to work with. Shy doesn't feel confident going up against DM when DM's being pocketed as well. So really, it's nano do or die. Even with the nano, Gusha doesn't have enough ult charge to confirm the primal. He takes too much damage, has to back away, and there's no good trades from Spark at all. So nearly 5 minutes on the time bank, and the possibility of a double cap as well. Burner has grab available, would need to stop this, but Izayaki should be able to counter.
Fleta dead off the bat. Really good start there from Shy. Throws at the bomb as well, just to have some extra pressure here onto the point, or off the point rather, over at the entrance. They will take this down. Still looking to play forward, it would seem. Just wait patiently.
Rez, by the way, so they actually disengaged there. I thought maybe, okay, Bleach on Rez's Fleta. It depends where he dies. If Fleta dies too far forward, that's not going to be it. But Shy's actually been kind of the hidden MVP so far of Sky. He's had some decent opening picks. If you can do that again, that would be brilliant. Still haven't played this grab, so that's going to be pretty much the first minute gone of the attack.
Well, they're looking for the dive into the back. Architect accompanying Gushway. Pops the Primal Rage. Discord Orb is out on him, so he still has to show a lot of respect to the damage output here from the side of Shanghai. So it does force him back in the end. Sword of Harmony out on the Fleta now as he looks for a flanking position. Somebody to stick this Pulse Bomb to. He'll swing around the left side. This Void starts inching forward. 1.5 tick, yeah, already being taken here. Nearly 50% on the board for the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Fleta with the Pulse. Manages to find IDK. The rally now not in the fight. Graviton Surge comes out from Bernard. Catches a few members, but they need to get the kills. So far, it's only going to be Fate going down as Gushway gets that stomp. Rez comes in instantly, however, from Lijiagon, and now Bernard is going to be killed from the back end, so they lose on the high energy Zarya. Nano boost in onto Gushway, but again, the Discord Orbs are making it so very difficult for him, and he will fall in the end. The rally now rolling from IDK, but he's got no one realistically to offer up armor to. Puts a little bit on the Shy. It's forced back off the point, but does manage to stay alive for a little bit longer. Now with Fleta gone, the counter pressure can come through. IDK pushes up, looks for Izayaki to try to send him off the side of the map. Waiting for that whip shot, but won't get the line of sight onto him. Now starts reaggressing, but that's a fight one.
That's damage done. You know, it's a fight won by Spark, but what about the 2 ticks that go the way of Shanghai Dragons? That's a lot of distance gain. There's a lot of momentum there. It's actually incredible. Now there's only 1 tick remaining. You have a case where Izayaki didn't even use a transfer to counter Burner. I think Izayaki's just saying today he doesn't care about the grab at all. Burner pops the grab onto the high ground. There's no Bionade follow-up. I don't know if MCD had it. Maybe he missed. Nano came pretty late as well. I think if you just Nano Gushway, get in and confirm the damage of the grab, that would be okay. The grab, or rather the Nano, had to be used to kind of save the point, considering that the Primal was gone as well. Shia respawns, gets a Dynamite kill, and look, thankfully for Hangzhou, they were able to respawn and use that kind of respawn advantage to go into their favor. If they lost more players there, if it wasn't, you know, Gushway holding on a little bit longer, having the Nano popped in, could have been pretty disastrous because the grab was certainly not it.
What an Architect duking out. Somebody's got to get onto the point. They finally contested here, but it's 95.4% now on the board from the side of Shanghai. Fate, low HP,
well.
does have to exit. Void as well, quite low, so they will disengage. Squishay had gone in with that Primal Rage. Good things onto Void. Not enough to get him out of the mech. Shy now down to 5 health. He comes right up over the top. The bomb from DM taking out Bernard. Gushway now falling, and it seems like this should be the cap here. Izayaki puts MCD in the ground. Pulse bomb down, not going to find anything, but the fight still widely going the way of the Shanghai Dragons. And with that final kill in the back of the Primal, a great pulse bomb eat from Void. They will be able to cap this. 2 minutes 35 seconds on board here for the side of Shanghai. Just 1 minute for the Spark.
It's another low-value Primal. I don't know what's going on here in terms of Gushway having to pop these. Is he trying to dive too deep here? Is he in, over his head? Is he trying to get the Primal in for some reason? Is he doing it on purpose? But 2 Primals in a row now. Shanghai just waited out. It's like, you want a Primal? We'll chill. We don't have to go yet. We got time. We got 2 ticks. You're the ones under pressure here. Please Primal into us. We don't respond. We're not going to use anything. You've got a Primal, and we're going to chill, and that's going to be it. So, this was Izayaki being dropped by Gushway, and this was that Valkyrie being popped in that very first fight, by the way. So here's me speaking positively about Gushway. This is when the user nano and Gushway was able to put the pressure on, and because the kill to Izayaki, which forced the Valkyrie and the res coming through from DJ on the Soul Healer, that really allowed the Hangzhou Spark to regain a lot of positioning, which was quite important, because that was them going 5v6, by the way. They won that fight 5v6, I think. Oh no, they didn't win that fight. They'd come in for a secondary fight, but they got a lot of progress. Another talking point for me so far has been, I've referred back to this a few times, just been checking it over it as we move along the map. Izayaki has now climbed up in damage again to be about 100 away from Flair. Flair's on 6.1k, Izayaki's on 6k, and here's a fun fact for you. Architect's on 5.9k. So again, Izayaki has actually got more damage done than a DPS or an important play on the Hangzhou Spark.
The guy's good. That's why he's leading in a lot of metrics here for the Zenyatta. That initial hold on point A was doing wonders for him.
Everyone wants to see Molly get played, but Izayaki's fragging right now. This is the thing. Shanghai are back on form. They're looking good. 2 minute 35 time back. 1 minute for Hangzhou Spark to try and get something done. I got to say that for Hangzhou to win this, they got to complete A. I think if they don't complete A, it's not looking good.
Yeah. Need to get that completion. Percentage likely not going to be good enough for them. See how they fare. Izayaki playing on this flank yet again. Elevated up onto the high ground, holding down the right clicks, trying to weave those straight into the garage. Doesn't quite get the hit that they were looking for, but Gushway in the meantime, left out the dry, does die, but Shy trading back some damage, finds Izayaki. Lee J gone, can he get the res off? Might need to hold it now as Fate will fall. Res already going to be committed, however, onto the support, so Fate's going to have to rejoin into the fight. DM